everyone, I'm Swati. Welcome back to my series on mechanics. We are learning vector, and today's video is all about vector product. Last time video nahi aa paya due to some personal reasons. I'm sorry for that, but I already told you there are some reasons due to which the video could be on and off. But I'm trying my best to post the videos as much as I can so you can watch and learn. So today's video is all about vector product. Let's begin with that. So this lecture is about vector product or cross product. We have already discussed in our last videos that the product of two vectors gives you either a scalar or a vector. So if you're getting a scalar, then it's a scalar product. It has a different type of maths, concepts and everything. And if you're getting a vector, it has a different thing. So if a vector has a product or multiply with another vector and you get a vector, then you have to solve that according to vector product. The maths, the concept should be the one followed in this vector product. And if you're getting a scalar, then everything goes by the rules given in scalar product. Okay. So why it's named vector product? Because you are getting a vector on multiplying two vectors. Now let's consider two vectors A and B. Okay. So this A and B, then vector product, that means using a symbol this cross, A cross B. That's why it has also the name of cross product. So this A cross B gives you a product which is a vector. So cross is basically a symbol which we use when we calculating vector product or you are getting a vector thing, and we use dot for dot product and scalar thing. So these are the two different symbols or notions we use for two different types of product rule used in vectors. Okay. So mathematically, it can be written as C vector you are getting by the cross product of A cross B, and that is also equals to magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine theta, and since it's a vector, you have to add in direction, that is n cap, and n cap is the unit vector. Okay, so this is a mathematical expression. Now in this, you have to learn certain things. First is this A and B vector should be in same plane. Should be in same plane. That is, they should be coplanar. Okay, and this C vector should go perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. So the direction of this C vector or the direction of this A cross B vector should be perpendicular to the plane containing A and B, A vector and B vector, and this is given by this n cap, which is a unit vector. It's a magnitude of 1 and is perpendicular to the plane containing A and B, containing A vector and B vector. Okay, now this A and B are what? They are the magnitude of A and B, and this theta is basically the smaller angle between A and B vector. So what is this smaller means? Let's say the two vectors in the plane are this A and B. Now they have two angles. It can be here and it can be here. So the smaller angle should be considered in this sine theta. And why not the larger one? Because this 5 will become 360 minus theta, and sine 360 minus theta has algebraically negative sign. So it will change this expression. So it should be the smaller angle. Okay. So now if A and B are in xy plane, let's say, then C vector will go in z plane. If they are in yz plane, it goes in x plane. If they are in zx plane, then it goes in y plane. So, in whatever plane A and B are there, the C vector should be perpendicular to it. The first thing is this. Next, you can calculate it by using right hand thumb rule as well. Okay, so the direction can also be determined. Yeah, you can write as to determine the direction. You can use what? Right hand thumb rule. And I think you have heard about this right hand thumb rule when you have learned magnetism in grade 10. Okay, so this is the same thing. What this rule says, let's say, if you have the vectors A and B in a plane, then just put the fingers, right hand fingers, towards one vector and curl it towards another. And depending on A cross B, if it is A cross B, then put your fingers first towards vector A and then curl towards B. If it is given as B cross A, then put it fingers at B and curl towards A. Okay. And then the extended thumb gives you the direction of the resultant. That means if you go A cross B, then you will see that the thumb will goes upward. And if you go B cross A, it goes downward. So the extended thumb gives you the direction of this A cross B. So this rule says curl the fingers of the right hand of the right hand in such a way in such a way that that they point in the direction of rotation, in the direction of rotation from vectors A to B, from vectors A to B through small angle. That's important. Through small angle, then the extended thumb, then the extended thumb gives A cross B. The simplest one. And there is one more way, right hand screw rule. Right handed screw rule. And this rule says that if this is the screw, then the rotation of the screw gives you in the direction of A cross B, and the movement of this screw, either it goes inward or outward, gives you the direction of that A cross B. Okay, so I'm not writing this, but you can use that. And you can also determine its direction using I cap, J cap, K cap. That is the unit vectors, because here in this n cap is a unit vector. So if A and B are in xy plane, that means I cap, J cap, then n cap automatically goes to K cap. Okay. So there are three ways, but I cap, J cap, K cap we will learn in more deeper sense in when we progress in this particular topic. Okay. Now the interesting thing is we have seen that this A cross B can be written as magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine theta, n cap. Now let's take the magnitude of this only. So if you take the magnitude of A cross B, and for the magnitude you use this bar sign, then you don't have to write this n cap. It's simply A cap B, A B sine theta. Now from here you can calculate this sine theta. That means the angle between these two vectors by A cross B, magnitude of A cross B divided by magnitude of A, magnitude of B. Now how to determine this A cross B we will learn in this lecture only. This in 5 minutes. Okay. And if we just take the whole A cross B with direction, that is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, sine theta n cap. So here you can see that this thing is what? Magnitude of A cross B. So this A cross B can be written as magnitude of A cross B n cap, and from here the n cap comes out to be what? A cross B divided by magnitude of A and magnitude of B. And this is what we have learned when we have discussed unit vector, that for the unit vector it is basically what? The vector divided by its magnitude. So here the vector is what? A cross B, because A cross B gives you a vector and you are dividing it by its magnitude. So it's same thing, A cross B divided by magnitude of A cross B. And you can say how to calculate this A cross B, we'll learn soon. So these are the two formulas and one is the expression which we have learned. So till now we have learned these three basic formulas, and we'll do numericals on that. Okay, but before that, let's learn geometrical interpretation. Geometrical interpretation. Okay. Okay, for the geometrical interpretation, let's see. You have a vector here, that is A vector, and you have a vector here. Let's take this as B vector. And theta is the angle between them. Let's take this as OP and this is just OQ. Now, if you drop a perpendicular here, then this particular sign is your B vector sine theta. How? Using simple trigonometric ratio. This is hypotenuse, this is perpendicular. So perpendicular upon hypotenuse, hypotenuse is B vector, gives you sine theta. So this perpendicular is what? Your B vector sine theta. Okay. So this is B sine theta. Now if I extend my this to a parallelogram and mark this as point R, then let's see what happened. First, calculate A cross B magnitude. That is magnitude of A, magnitude of B sine theta. No need to put n cap here because we are calculating magnitude. Now, this is A. Let's take in magnitude. And this A is what? This OP. So, this A can be written as OP. And this B sine theta can be written as, let's mark it as S. QS. QS. So this is what? This is a base of parallelogram OPRQ. This is the base and this is your height. So this is base into height. That means on calculating the magnitude of A cross B, you are getting the area of parallelogram OPRQ. OPRQ. Very interesting, right? And it makes more sense, like first mark it as that the magnitude of A cross B is geometrically equal to area of parallelogram OPRQ. Okay. Now, if I multiply and divide it by 2, then what happened? It's multiplied by 2 and divided by half. So if you divide the area of parallelogram by 2, what do you get? A triangle, something like this, something like this, with a base OP. Oh no, not this, because the height is something like this. Yes, the base OP and height QS, right? So what you get? 2 into area of triangle OPQ. Now the interesting thing is Here also OP, sorry, not the B, this is P. So this OP, and here you are used QS, and here see, in the parallelogram also the sides are OP and OQ, and in triangle also it is OP and OQ. So that means the parallelogram and the triangle are formed by the adjacent sides, which are actually the vectors A and B. So the adjacent sides of the parallelogram or the triangle are basically vectors A and B. So from here you can see that the half of the magnitude A cross B is equal to my area of triangle OPQ. That's the interesting geometrical interpretation of vector product. Okay, we can have a numerical on this, like consider two vectors A and B, and these two vectors A and B, if A and B denote the side of a parallelogram, the side of a parallelogram, and its area is A and B, and its area is AB by 2, then find angle. So we have seen that this magnitude of A cross B is equal to area of parallelogram, and the magnitude of A cross B is magnitude of B sine theta without any n cap, because it's only the magnitude, and it's equal to area, which is given as AB by 2. So you can remove this AB by AB, and sine theta comes out to be half, and it is half when theta is what? 30 degrees. So 30 degrees is your answer. Okay, so we have seen a geometrical interpretation, that is the magnitude of A cross B gives you the area of parallelogram, and half of A cross B gives you the area of triangle. Okay, now let's calculate the A cross B. When we calculate A dot B, we have wrote A and B in its component form. So here also vector A can be written as AXI cap plus AY j cap plus AZ k cap, and this B vector can be written as BXI cap plus BY j cap plus BZ k cap. Now for A cross B, basically you have to use a method which is known as matrix or determinant. Okay, so you have to form a matrix of this. It is a grade 12 subject topic in math subject, but we can learn it here. It's very simple. What you have to do, you have to write it in a bar magnets to determine its determinant, but don't confuse with the terminology. Just you have to put the bars, and first you have to write this I cap, j cap and k cap in a row, and then first is your A vector, so you have to write the components of your A vector, and then it is B vector, then you have to write all three components of B vector, that is Bx, By and Bz. Now what you have to do, you have to solve it for I cap, j cap, k cap. How you will do? First you will solve for I cap, but when you solve for I cap, you have to forget this two line and just remember this. Okay, so you can write here as AY, BY, AZ, BZ. That means you have to write the other components. Then you have to solve it for J cap. And when you solve for J cap, you have to write minus J cap. So it is like plus I minus J and then plus K, alternate sign. And when you solve for J cap, you have to forget this part and just solve for AX, BX and AZ, BZ, means the other components. So just write AX, BX, AZ, BZ, and similarly for K, it is for plus K cap, and then you have to use X and Y thing, AX, BX, AY, BY. Okay. And then when you write this, you have to cross multiply it and put a minus sign in between. That means you have to multiply this by this. It is like a cross multiplication when you have seen in the grade 10 maths chapter where you solve the linear equation two variables. So this is one of the method there. I don't know because it's been deleted from the syllabus, so you have learned that or not. Well, it's very easy. You have to cross multiply it. It's simply AYBZ minus AZBY. Okay. Then put minus J. Again cross multiply AXBZ minus BXAZ. Then put plus K cap AXBY minus AYBX. And this is how you got A cross B. So either you can remember this whole stuff or you can remember the method and use method to determine A cross B. I think the method is far better to remember because this is sort of, it's up to you. It's up to you. Okay, so let's do some numericals to understand this A cross B thing. So the first is calculate area of triangle where your A vector is 3i cap plus 4j cap and B vector is minus 3i cap plus 7j cap. Now the area of triangle is what? Area of triangle is half of A cross B. Magnitude. Half of magnitude of A cross B. Okay, so first you have to solve A cross B and then to determine its magnitude. So for A cross B, first always write I cap, J cap, K cap. Then the components of A, it is I, 3I cap, so put 3 here. 4J cap, 4 here. There is no K, so put 0 here. For B vector, it is minus 3, 7 and 0. Then first put I cap, then cross multiply it 4 by 0 and 0, so 0 minus 0 is 0. Then put minus J cap and 3 into 0 is 0, minus 3 into 0 is 0. I forget this line here. Okay. And then plus K cap. So for this, I have to forget this line. And it's 3 sevens are 21 and minus 3, 4, minus 12. Minus is already there. So this is like 0 I cap minus 0 j cap and this is minus minus plus 21 plus 12 is 33 k cap. Okay, so area of triangle will become half of this. First you have to calculate the magnitude. So the magnitude of this A cross B is 0 square plus 0 square plus 33 square, which is basically 33 square, which comes out to be 33. So area of triangle is what? Half 33 or 33 by 2 square roots. 33 by 2 square units. Because it's an area, so you have to write the units, and since it's an area, you have to put square. Okay. Let's see one more numerical. Calculate area of paragram where your A vector is I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap and B vector is 2i cap minus 3j cap plus k cap. Okay. So the area of parallelogram is what? Magnitude of A cross B. So first you have to solve this A cross B and then we'll calculate its magnitude. So this A cross B, again for that you have to first write I cap, J cap, K cap and then the components of A, which is 1, 2 and 3. And then the components of B, which is 2, minus 3 and 1. And then first I cap, it's 2, 2 ones are 2, 3 threes are 9 and minus minus plus. Then put minus J cap, 1 ones are 1, minus 2 threes are 6, then plus K cap 1 into minus 3 is minus 3. 2 2s are 4, minus 4. So this comes out to be 11 I cap minus 1 minus 6 is minus 5 and minus is already here. So it's plus 5 J cap and minus 7 K cap. And for the area, just calculate A cross B's magnitude. Then it's 11 square is 121 plus 5 square is 25 minus 7 square is 49. And that comes out to be 5. 4 plus 2, 6, 7, 8. 1 carry already there. 9. 195 square units. The next one is find a unit vector and angle between a unit vector perpendicular. First, find a unit vector perpendicular to this vector, that is A, I cap plus 2I cap plus 3J cap plus K cap, and B vector as I cap minus J cap plus K cap, and also angle between them, and also sine theta. Okay, so first for the n cap, you have to find A cross B, and then you have to divide it by its magnitude. So let's calculate A cross B here. So for A cross B, it is like first write I cap, J cap, K cap, then A is 2, 3, 1, and B is 1, minus 1, plus 1. Okay. Then it's like I cap, 3 1s are 3, minus minus plus 1, then minus J, 2 1s are 2, minus 1, then it's plus K cap, it's minus 2, minus 3. Then it is 4 I cap, minus J cap, and minus 5 K cap. Okay. And then its magnitude is 4 square is 16, minus 1 square is plus 1, minus 5 square is plus 25. And that comes out to be 5 4 1 6 and 6 12, carry 1 2 3 4 42. So that n cap comes out to be 1 by root 42, and this is 4 I cap minus J cap minus 5 K cap. Okay, so this is how you calculate this n cap unit vector. And for the sine theta, you have to first calculate this A vector. Magnitude of A is 2 3 1, that is 2 square is then 3 square, then 1 square. Then 2 square is 4 plus 9 plus 1, that comes out to be root 14. And then B vector is what? And B vector is I minus J plus K, that is 1 1 1. And it's 1 square plus minus 1 square plus 1 square, 1 1 1 root 3. Okay. So for the sine theta, it is what? Magnitude of A cross B divided by magnitude of A, magnitude of B. So magnitude of A cross B is root 42 divided by root 14 and root 3. So this is basically the sine theta. Okay, so these are the two things as per the from the mathematical expression of vector product. Okay, so this is all for this video and this lecture. In the next lecture, we will see the important properties and of vector product, and we'll learn some more concepts of I cap, J cap, K cap, and we'll do some numericals and also learn some tips and tricks, some direct results of vector product. So till then, do like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned with me for more vector stuff.